Friends from the media, good morning. It is a great pleasure to give you information on the fourth plenary session. The session was held in Beijing from October the 20th to the 23rd. The Political Bureau of the Central Committee presided over the session. General Secretary Xi Jinping delivered important addresses. Members and alternate members of the Central Committee attended the session. Members of the Standing Committee of the Central Commission for Discipline Inspection and the leading officials from relevant departments were present at the meeting in a non-voting capacity, and the colleagues from grassroots level and experts and scholars who served as delegates to the 20th National Congress also were present at the meeting in a non-voting capacity. The session listened to and discussed the report on the work of the Political Bureau, deliberated over and adopted the recommendations for formulating the 15th Five-Year Plan for Economic and Social Development. It successfully concluded all agenda items. At the session, the Central Committee fully recognized the work of the Political Bureau since the third plenary session. It was unanimously agreed that facing the complex international environment and the formidable tasks of reform, development, and stability at home, the Political Bureau of the Central Committee earnestly implemented the guiding principles of the 20th CPC National Congress and the plenary sessions of the 20th Central Committee, while accomplishing four tasks, coordinated the major undertakings of the party and country, and sustained the rebound of the economy, and the main objectives and tasks of the 14th Five-Year Plan will soon be accomplished. We're making solid strides in Chinese modernization. The most important outcome of the session is the adoption of the recommendations. The sound formulation and continuous implementation of five-year plans is an important piece of experience in our party's governance of the country, and it is also an important political strength. And this practice is truly admired by foreign political parties. We have set up the goal of basically achieving socialist modernization by 2035. The 15th Five-Year Plan period is a critical period of building a solid foundation and intensifying efforts across the board. To formulate the recommendations for the 15th Five-Year Plan and make systematic arrangements for economic and social development during the 15th Five-Year Plan is needed for realizing the grand blueprint of the 20th CPC National Congress and advancing Chinese modernization in phases. It is needed for effectively tackling the new changes in the complex and severe external environment and winning strategic initiative in fierce international competition. It is also needed for advancing high-quality development in keeping with the requirements of China's development at the current stage. In a word, it is of great significance. The drafting of the recommendations was led by the Party Central Committee. General Secretary Xi Jinping personally headed the drafting team and gave personal guidance and instructions, playing a decisive role. The drafting team earnestly implemented the important instructions from General Secretary Xi Jinping, stuck to the right direction and people's position, grasped the overall goals, enhanced strategic planning, and paid particular attention to making the formulation a democratic process of pooling wisdom and building consensus. We have two rounds of soliciting views altogether. The first one is that on January the 22nd this year, the Central Committee issued a notice soliciting opinions on the recommendations of the 15th Five-Year Plan. In May, General Secretary Xi Jinping gave important instructions on the formulation and stressed that the decision-making needs to be sound, democratic, and law-based. And it is important to heed the opinions and suggestions from the people across different sectors and take in the fresh experience from practice. General Secretary Xi Jinping led by example. He personally chaired 2 symposiums to listen to the opinions from leading officials from 7 provinces municipalities and autonomous regions, and non-CPC members, and entrusted Premier Li Qiang to chair 3 symposiums to listen to the opinions from people from the economic sector, the science and technology community, and the primary level representatives. From May to June, relevant departments organized a month-long opinion soliciting event online, which is open to the public, and received over 3.113 million valid suggestions. The second round was that on August the 4th, the Party Central Committee circulated the draft recommendations among all regions, departments, and relevant departments to solicit opinions, and received 2,112 pieces of revision opinions. After careful study, the drafting team took in 452 pieces, accounting for 21.4% of the total received. It is fair to say that the drafting of the recommendations is another vivid example of the whole process of people's democracy. And it demonstrates that the firm political position of the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core, respecting the people's principal role in history, doing everything for the people, and relying closely on the people. The recommendations will be published soon. It contains 61 articles in 15 parts. It has 3 sections. The section 1 is the overview, explaining China's major achievements during the 14th five-year plan period, the significance and overall requirements of ensuring good economic and social development during the 15th five-year plan period. The second section contains thematic sections, making arrangements for the strategic tasks and major measures during the 15th five-year plan period across different areas. The third section is about upholding and strengthening the centralized, unified leadership of the CPC Central Committee and advancing socialist democracy and rule of law. During the plenary session, the participants had lively discussions and spoke highly of it. It was unanimously agreed that the recommendations is yet another important guiding document in the history of the party. It has sound and targeted guiding principles, clearly defined development objectives, and down-to-earth and practical tasks and measures. It is another overall arrangement and a call to action for building on the momentum and continually advancing Chinese modernization, and is bound to have major and far-reaching impact on the undertakings of our party and country. With that, I conclude my opening remarks. Thank you.